a voice for the small business. The Mark Montgomery Show continues. Talk 650 KSTE.
Welcome back, folks. I'm Mark Montgomery. You're listening to Small Biz Talk Radio, Saturday morning, 6 to 8 a.m., right here on Talk 650 KSTE, 1-866-331-TALK. We're going to go right to the phones because this is important, folks. We've got, any of you that are living out there in a house, hopefully most of you are, you're not out on the street, and you find that you walk in and you trip over a big crack in your floor or something. Here's the man to call. I want to welcome Clayton Anderson. Clayton, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mark and Diane. How are you doing?
Hi, Clayton.
So, what's new this morning? I know this is the first time we're doing this now. Your new 2-minute segment, here going in right at the top of the hour. So, what's happening?
Well, let me tell your listeners that the topic today is not so much the lawsuits, but the leverage that we get for settling and resolving those lawsuits from the legal system. The prior news talked about that sinkhole in Florida. Well, picture our legal system being affected by a sinkhole like that, because it is actually just on the verge of collapse because of lack of funding. A little perspective, Governor Brown and the legislators spend about $100 billion a year. That's the general fund that they vote. And out of that, only about $3 billion or so goes to maintain the courts, where your small business listeners can go in to resolve disputes, to collect amounts of money, to do other things that they need to do traditionally. And we've had in the past decades, a great California legal system. But that has been slashed recently about 30%. Now, if California slashed itself 30%, it'd be spending only about $60 billion. But it ain't, right? It ain't. And what we have is the court closures, satellite courthouses close to small businesses that are convenient. Small claims courts throughout California are getting closed and consolidated. And the double whammy from the other side is that they're increasing the fees for your small business people to go in and file a lawsuit to collect a bad debt, or to force somebody to perform their contract that they agreed to. So it's a pretty dismal picture. I hope you've got listeners there in the Sacramento area, that legislators and staff people that have something to do with it. And it's just such a shame that California is sacrificing its legal system. The third branch of government, which takes about 3% of the money, and it's just being strangled right in its crib, so to speak. So that's the bad news. Unless we have that leverage, big case, small case, our contingent fee work, it's tougher and tougher to get results for people, which I and my staff do, day in and day out.
Yep. It's taken longer and longer, and you would think with this tax increase that we're getting, of course, or supposedly getting, that this would be resolved, and it's not. It's only going to get worse, and they're, of course, going after more money, and boy, we better hang on to our pockets, because, our wallets, because they're coming after us on this, Clayton, and so and they're going after, like you said, the courts, and it's appalling, absolutely appalling. Clayton, give your information out. I don't want you to leave without giving your information out.
Well, our website's probably the best thing. We're getting so much business out of it, and it's just one long word, Anderson Schoech. It's S-O-N, and then Schoech is S-C-H-O-E-C-H, so AndersonSchoech.com. That's the best thing, and then the phone number is 916-569-1940. We're in the Natomas area, but we serve all the way up to Chico and into the Bay Area, Pacifica, and as you know, out in the Wilton area with a big problem out there, and down in the Stockton area. So we're all over Northern California, and it's great to be on this station. I think we talk to a lot of sleepy people in the morning.
Yes, we do. Yes,
and you will
do.
Every Saturday morning,
That's right?
That's right. At 7:02, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think we'll have Robert Finkel next week talk about one of his cases.
Great.
Yay.
Fantastic. Clayton, always a pleasure, and it's nice to have you aboard.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
You bet. Have a great
Bye-bye.
weekend. And, of course, Clayton Anderson, construction defect, and believe me, they're great at it. And if you didn't get that number, that website, you can always just email me, Mark at smallbiztalkradio.com. Be happy to give it out.